Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. Good morning. I'm John, an old YouTuber. It's Monday and a new week. It's 9:30. I got my YouTube money today, about $350, so that's very good. So I did pay what I did need to pay. I got some 3 pairs of new shorts. Some food from my old mom, so she got some money, and I have 2 more new shorts there, so I have 5 pair of shorts. I need to have a lot of shorts because it's always very hot in my apartment. It's up to 30 degrees here every day. It's 27 now. It's just morning and it's 27. And if the sun starts to shine more, it will be like 30. So I have it a bit hot in my apartment every summer. So I need to have shorts and t-shirts. Yes, let's try to finish this American Frontier. And I put my computer to sleep tonight, so I still have this. I have this 40 web pages there. I have to download all this. No, I have to write it down, but I need the new read list to do this. But not now, I just wake up. Let's finish this American Frontier. And I need to make a new read list. I don't think that's enough, just 1 paper, so that's be 2 papers. I need to make 2 more papers with read list there later, but I need to wake up a bit. But I got my YouTube money today, so that's super good. It's Monday. It's Monday the 27th today. And Thursday I will get my normal pension. And Friday the 1st, I will have to pay my bills there. And I have like $30 left of my pension Friday, so I have to save like 1,000 Danish kroner out of my YouTube money. I got like 2,700. That's like $350, so I have to save like $140. Yes, we need to make some read list after this, but for now I like to continue this a bit, the Santa Fe Trail. I'll just continue next one like this one. That was my plan to do that. So got a lot of read list there, and now it'll be 2 more later. Need to download all this PDF, but that's for the American Civil War. Yes, but they are so small. They're so small, the headers there, so I can very easy, I can close it. About slavery in United States. And slavery, there's a Julia Bullet, she's the prostitute. She was a prostitute and got a normal citizen. That's the old Dodge City, Western City, Dodge City, Kansas, Tombstone, Arizona, Texas Rangers, Sheriff in United States, list of Old West gunfighters, Chinese massacre cove, China about Chinatowns, Buffalo Soldier, that's some black or colored in the US Army on the horses in the 17th centuries. African Americans, US Army personnel. And about the California Gold Rush, about cowboys, natives in United States. I have another list, all these tribes, these native tribes I have on this American Revolutionary War. It's a long list of all the native Indian. That's more 7 cavalry regiments. That's a lot more different, but we cannot do everything. The Transcontinental Railroad, that's really one I like to read this one. American Range Massacre, that's the Native Americans, the Indians. They was attacking all these settlers and Mormons. They was killing the farmers. Apache Wars, Sioux Wars, Geronimo, Indian Chief, Battle of Little Big Horn, Red River War, Snake River, about snakes, rattlesnakes they have in United States, like in Arizona and New Mexico. I don't know, I have it in the desert areas, Texas, something like that. That's about agriculture. Los Angeles, California, Los Angeles, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Arizona, Nevada, Las Vegas, New Mexico states. Got 2 New Mexico, let's close one there, New Mexico states. Rio Grande, that's the river from the Texas to Mexico and Arizona. They have this border river down there somewhere here. Rio Grande, New Mexico, Texas, and the Mississippi River. I think that's around, you cannot read it there, around in Texas, Houston. I don't know where's the sickest, longest river in the world. Gulf of Mississippi River Delta. We need to read about this. And what about Gulf of Mexico? We could have that. Louisiana. We could read about Louisiana. That's maybe where here, I don't know, that's maybe the Mississippi River starts around there, Louisiana. That's not I don't know, something around there. Louisiana could be Mississippi River starts there, around there. Okay, Hudson is much more far there. Yes, Mississippi River Delta. Southeastern United States, could read about that. But probably should be before that. Rio Grande, Southeastern, Louisiana. Yes, we need them. What state is Louisiana? No, Louisiana is a state, but I think we have a city called Louisiana too. Okay, that's a state in Louisiana. What's the capital in Louisiana? Capital is Baton Rouge. Okay, so that's Baton Rouge and New Orleans. do that. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, New Orleans, then Mississippi River, River Delta, Gulf of Mexico, American alligator, crocodile, Mexico, Mexico City, Mexico drug war, something like that. So we have to read all this. Yes, let's do that. Something I need to close. Yes, let's do this. So it's 9:40. So let's just continue. Let's continue this. Yes, I will go back to my bed and have to adjust the 56 speaker level, 56 there. I have the doors and windows open. I need that because it's really hot in my apartment. It needs to be open even. I make a lot of noise. Yes, I just got up in the morning. I could close it later in some hours, few hours. I need to get a little bit fresh air. Could close it in like 1 hour. But let's try to finish this and upload.
Members of the Dalton Gang after the Battle of Coffeyville in 1892 left Crawford Cherokee Bill Goldsby posing with his captors during a stop by train to Noliata, Oklahoma 1895. Left to right are #5, Zeg Crittenden, #4, Dick Crittenden, Cherokee Bill, #2, Clint Scales, #1, Ike Rogers, #3, Deputy Marshal Bill Smith. 279, right depiction of the hanging of Cherokee Bill on the 17th of March, 1896, as it was published by newspapers after his execution of Anders. As such, other earlier settlements created their private agencies to protect communities due to the lack of peacekeeping establishments. 280, 281. These vigilance committees reflected different occupations in the frontier, such as land clubs, cattlemen's associations and mining camps. Similar vigilance committees also existed in Texas, and their main objective was to stamp out lawlessness and rid communities of desperados and rustlers. 282. These committees would sometimes form mob rule for private vigilante groups, but usually were made up of responsible citizens who wanted only to maintain order. Criminals caught by these vigilance committees were treated cruelly, often hung or shot without any form of trial. 283. Civilians also took arms to defend themselves in the Old West, sometimes siding with lawmen, Coffeyville bank robbery, or siding with outlaws, Battle of Ingalls. In the post-Civil War frontier, over 523 whites, 34 blacks, and 75 others were victims of lynching. 284. However, cases of lynching in the Old West wasn't primarily caused by the absence of a legal system, but also because of social class. Historian Michael J. Pfeffer writes, contrary to the popular understanding, early territorial lynching did not flow from an absence or distance of law enforcement but rather from the social instability of early communities and their contest for property, status, and the definition of social order. 285. Gunfights and feuds. Wild Bill Hickok after killing Davis Toot in a duel, illustrated in Harper's New Monthly magazine, February 1867. The shootout would become stereotypical duel in the American West. The names and exploits of Western gunslingers took a major role in American folklore, fiction and film. Their guns and costumes became children's toys for make-believe shootouts. 286. The stories became immensely popular in Germany and other European countries, which produced their novels and films about the American frontier. 287. The image of a Wild West filled with countless gunfights was a myth based on repeated exaggerations. The most notable and well-known took place in Arizona, New Mexico, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. Actual gunfights in the Old West were more episodic than being a common thing. Between gunfights did occur. The cause for each varied. 288. Some were simply the result of the heat of the moment, while others were long-standing feuds, or between bandits and lawmen. Although mostly romanticized, there were instances of quick draw that did occur, though rarely, such as Wild Bill Hickok Davis Toot shootout and Luke Short Jim Courtright duel. 289. Fatal duels were fought to uphold personal honor in the West. 290. 291. To prevent gunfights, towns such as Dodge City and Tombstone prohibited firearms in town. What an unbranded cow has Cosby Frederick Remington, which depicts the aftermath of a range war between cowboys and supposed rustlers. 1895 Charles Marion Russell Smoke of A.45, Oil on Canvas. 1908 Range wars were infamous armed conflicts that took place in the open range of the American frontier. The subject of these conflicts was the control of lands freely used for farming and cattle grazing, which gave the conflict its name. 292. Range wars became more common by the end of the American Civil War, and numerous conflicts were fought, such as the Pleasant Valley War, Mason County War, Johnson County War, Colorado Range War, Fence Cutting War, Colfax County War, Castaic Range War, Spring Creek Raid, Barber Mizzle Feud, San Elizario Salt War, and Others. 293. During a range war in Montana, a vigilante group called Stewart's Stranglers, which were made up of cattlemen and cowboys, killed up to 20 criminals and range squatters in 1884 alone. 294. 295. In Nebraska, stock grower Ice Olive led a range war in 1878 that killed a number of homesteaders from lynchings and shootouts before eventually leading to his own murder. 296. Another infamous type of open range conflict were the sheep wars, which were fought between sheep ranchers and cattle ranchers over grazing rights and mainly occurred in Texas, Arizona and the border region of Wyoming and Colorado. 297. 298. In most cases, formal military involvement were used to quickly put an end to these conflicts. Other conflicts over land and territory were also fought, such as the Regulator-Moderator War, Caught in a Trouble's Las Cuvas War, and the Bandit War. Feuds involving families and bloodlines also occurred much in the frontier. 299. Since private agencies and vigilance committees were a substitute for proper courts, many families initially depended on themselves and their communities for their security and justice. These wars include the Lincoln County War, Toot Everett War, Flynn-Doran Feud, Early Hasley Feud, Brooks-Baxter War, Sutton-Taylor Feud, Horrell Brothers Feud, Brooks-McFarland Feud, Reese-Townsend Feud, and the Earp Vendetta Ride. Cattle. The end of the bison herds opened up millions of acres for cattle ranching. 300. 301. Spanish cattlemen had introduced cattle ranching and longhorn cattle to the Southwest in the 17th century, and the men who worked the ranches, called vaqueros, were the first cowboys in the West. After the Civil War, Texas ranchers raised large herds of longhorn cattle. The nearest rail